The room is unmuted and you are live on YouTube.
All right. Good afternoon, all. Welcome to the Tourism Department first meeting of the year, 2022. I'd like to just recognize Supervisor Ryan. Sorry if I'm referring, Runyon.
Runyon.
That's
yeah.
it. Welcome today, and Supervisor Leggett to the committee. All right. Like a motion to approve the minutes of December 7th, 2021 Tourism and Occupancy Tax Meeting.
Make that motion.
You got it. Mr. Weil, Mr. Stroud. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, thank you. There's going to be a little change in this. Joanne is under the weather today, so we're bringing the whole team up here to, each one will have a different part in this meeting to address everything that we want to talk about. So we're going to start with Lisa for the resolutions.
Okay. The first resolution is to authorize an agreement with the Adirondack Regional Tourism Council to continue our contractual relationship for regional marketing services, including digital, social media, website, email marketing, and mobile tracking. We've been working with the Adirondack Regional Tourism Council for many years. We work with them along with I Love New York and receive matching funds through them or from I Love New York, and we support them with matching funds. This year, we're going to receive $57,522 from New York State. So we would just like to continue that relationship as we have for many years.
All right, Mr. Stroud, motion. Mr. Wiles, second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passed.
The second resolution request is to reappropriate $35,000 from the occupancy tax reserve for Granicus. Granicus is, we have a contract with them which has just been returned in January. It was to start in September, but for whatever reason was not returned to the county until January 12th. So therefore, we're into the year 2022, and we would need to reappropriate those funds.
Move it.
Mr. Leggett? Mr. Dickinson?
I have a question.
And a question?
What is Granicus and what are they doing for us?
Granicus is collecting information for the treasurer on short-term rentals.
Oh, excellent. I thought that looked familiar.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
And, Mr. Chairman, so this was never, the funds were never transferred because there was no contract?
There was no contract, so it was approved last year, but we're moving it into this year. All right, any other questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passed.
And our third,
Chairman.
Ms. Bramer, I'm sorry.
Could I ask a question
Sure,
regarding Granicus? Thank you.
good, go ahead.
This is something that was really important to the city as well. They're assisting with collecting data throughout the county, as you know, and they're offering to provide data through Mike Swan to the individual municipalities. And I know my counterparts in the city are going to want to know if there's any update on the Granicus's collection of data, because I didn't know we didn't have the contract finalized, because Mike Swan was telling us that the data was coming very soon. That was weeks ago.
the contract was finalized last fall, but for whatever reason was not signed and returned to the county until the 12th of January.
But was Granicus doing work to collect data?
I believe they were working, as I understand, with the planning department to get some information. I cannot give you an update on where they are at this point with that.
Okay, I'll follow up on offline. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
And opposed?
Aye.
All right. Moving along.
The third resolution is to reappropriate 50,000 from the occupancy tax reserve for the Lake George Winterfest. Again, this was approved in 2021. To this date, Winterfest has not obtained insurance in order to complete their contract. So we will need to reappropriate the funds for 2022 so that we can go forth with that contract.
All right.
They're gonna respond.
Yeah, we'll have some information from administrator. The last report we had, they have 70% of their wristbands sold already, so.
You had Dennis.
Dennis?
I assume I know what you know. Christian Dutcher is, as you all know, been contracted to put this thing together. He did it last year. This year, he has had a serious problem with insurance. The insurance company that he had last year refused to entertain re-upping that. He has called every insurance company you can think of. He's not been able to get insurance for this. Apparently, there's some underlying situation with insurance companies in this kind of activity. He seems to have gone over some thresholds that it makes it difficult for him to get insurance. So I don't know where he's going to go from there.
I think Ryan has some answers for you.
Yeah, the county attorney and I spoke with Christian at length yesterday about this problem. And essentially what the issue is this carrier from last year, the event is longer than it was last year. And for companies that typically write insurance to cover events of this nature would typically be covering events that last a couple of days, maybe a little bit longer. But this is proposed to last through the middle of March, I believe. And it was a very easy process last year. I think Christian had basically said, why is this different this year? And they said, well, maybe we should have done it differently last year. But that's the issue. As I mentioned, Larry and I spoke with him yesterday. He was going to take a try at the possibility of breaking the event up and having a couple of different insurance companies cover different portions of it, which obviously adds to the cost. It's kind of goofy. I don't know. We don't know whether it will work, but it's at least a shot. The alternatives, if he can't put that together, are, we have choice between two non-ideal alternatives.
All right. So do you suggest we go ahead with the resolution for the 50 grand, just in case he gets them in the next couple of days, so we don't have to redo it?
I do, because just because you appropriate those funds it's just a budget modification.
All right, so I need a motion to approve that budget. Mr. Dickinson? Mr. Leggett? Any other questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Oh, did I hear an aye? Who? Ms. Bramer? Yes.
I'm an aye.
Oh, you're,
That's all.
oh, you're an aye. Okay, thank you. All right. Moving on. All right, the second part of this, I don't see the treasurer here unless he's on our screen up there. No, so we're not going to get a report from the treasurer. All right, Kristen Hannafin, you want to give your report on the strategies that we're using? You're going to have to go up to the podium.
So with regards to Hunden, I have an update from the Hunden consultant that was here a few months ago. According to Joanne, they are continuing to interview stakeholders. They're gathering information on competitor destinations, setting up measurements that they are looking at across all the locations. They're trying to determine which component should be on that dashboard that will be the most helpful to us. They're geofencing Warren County and the competitors to determine where and how people are traveling for comparisons, and we have another call scheduled with them for February. So if you have any very specific questions, please feel free to reach out to Joanne, and we'd be happy to get you some more information. That's our Hunden update.
That's it?
Yeah, OC taxes afterwards, or do you want me to go into?
Why don't you do all yours?
Okay,
Mr.
You,
Chairman.
the other part is, yeah, no, we'll wait to the second part for yours.
yeah, sure, no problem. Right.
All right.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
just a question regarding the consultants. Could you just refresh us what the overall strategy and goals were for this organization for us? Is that something?
That
You-
is
you can
something
recall?
that I'm actually not at liberty to talk about that right now, just because I'm not up to speed on everything.
Fair.
That was really more into Joanne's
That's fine.
shop, so I'm sorry.
We can get you that information.
Yeah, we can
Chairman.
definitely talk further
I'll
about it.
reach out to Joanne. Thank you.
All right. Paul, you're part of this. You want to give your report?
Absolutely.
This is a year-end review, 2021.
2021 performance metrics, and I'll just wait for Tammy to fire up our PowerPoint.
Put that mic closer, the mic. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
That's it. Standard.
No, it's just I was sent just a shortcut to the PowerPoint. I wasn't sent the PowerPoint. It says it's changed.
Oh, okay.
So. Does everyone have the PowerPoint?
Can you excuse me for a second and
Yeah.
I'll go grab a copy of it?
Yeah.
That'd be
All
great.
right.
Yep.
All right, we got to pause.
Yeah.
All right. We're going to have the referral item now while we're waiting, the county attorney on the occupancy tax.
My recollection from December was I was requested to not take any action on that until this new board. So I will follow up with the chairman later this month. On its face, it doesn't look like a small project or undertaking. But at least I'll have an update for the next committee meeting in February. I'm hesitant to promise draft documents by February.
Okay, thank you.
What are you talking about?
There was a referral back in June of 2021 for the county attorney's office to prepare some updated municipal agreements and occupancy tax spending guidelines. And it appears that that was pushed every month until now. So my hope is that it'll stop getting pushed from month to month and we'll start moving on it now.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
was that because there was a revamp last
A lot of it
summer?
was revamped and they were trying to get it all straightened out.
So we reflect that, those changes.
Yes.
Yeah, in the adopted budget for this year, there were two pools of money, if you will. One for the events that come to us and another one for municipal requests. And I don't offhand remember the amounts for both of those funding streams without looking at the budget, but I'm sure Lisa has it at her fingertips.
There's $195,000 in the budget this year for events that come to the town level that the towns may not have enough money in the amounts that they normally get between their 30,000 that they get in October and the balance that they get in the first part of June. So if there's something that comes up and there's not enough money, it can come back to this committee to be funded.
Get your answer? Is that right? Okay. Paul, you ready to go?
I think so, sir.
How's that?
There you go.
Beautiful. So every year we put together these performance metrics for you, so you can see how we've been doing the last year. So a lot of this might not be new to you. It'll consist of course, your Smith trend, Air DNA short-term rentals, tax collections, website analytics, mobile tracking data, email marketing, and social media. So you can see our Smith trend demand is moving up nicely. We had a self-imposed goal of 1 million rooms, which were exceeded in 2019. And we're on course to go well beyond that in 2021.
Yes, sir.
Sorry if I'm,
You can ask questions. sir.
thanks. And those are for those that subscribe to the Smith.
That's right.
So there's even more rooms that are rented for all the moms and pops.
Absolutely,
Right.
yes. Okay, and the revenue is up substantially, and that's attributed to the higher ADR. Guests were willing to pay a higher room rate, and the challenge next year would be maintaining that 2021 ADR. Okay, can you move on ahead? I might have. There we go. Short-term rental index. Okay, so these are short-term rental analytics, total revenue. Not all of this can be considered taxable because cleaning fees are also included in those numbers. Mike Swan can elaborate on the short-term rental tax collections as well. Okay. And you can see the average daily rate. Of note for short-term rentals on ADR, 90% of these rentals are entire homes, so they can command that higher rate.
Those are daily numbers for the house,
These numbers here,
yeah,
this is the average for the entire year.
daily, what they're paying daily.
Right, yes, sir, yes, sir.
Yeah.
And revenue. Okay, and I went through the revenue numbers earlier. My sheets are a little mixed up here. All right, on to tax collections. And you can see that huge jump in 2021. And that's all self-explanatory. And collections will continue to accumulate through March of 2022. So that number will grow even higher. Okay, and our website analytics. And if you have any questions on this, our website guru is right here with us, Casey O'Brien. So our visitor sessions, sessions are defined as a series of contiguous actions by a visitor on an individual website within a given time frame. So visits to website are driven by Google AdWords, organic social media, paid, digital, and social media from Workshop and Casey. If you have any questions on that, feel free to ask. And then this is also
Okay,
kind of.
hold on, Paul. I think Supervisor Bramer has a question. You have to speak up. We don't see you on the screen.
Thank you. Can you hear me?
Yep, we can hear you.
You mentioned, Paul, about the ad workshop. Can you just explain that a little bit further about how that relates to our website clicks, that slide you just had on a second ago?
Well, I think so, Supervisor Bramer. I believe it's a combination of placement from Workshop combined with where Casey places her content as well. So all of that goes in to drive that those sessions. Does that make sense?
That's a total number then of visits based on work that we're doing and that they're doing, placing our site places. Okay, yes, thank you. Thanks, Chairman.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes,
Thank
Mr. Wild.
I'm just curious, and I'm not sure who to address this to, but when we look at the analytics for these sessions, has anything changed in our data collection process from 17, 18, 19 to now? Because of this huge jump, I'm wondering if there's something different that we're doing.
Yeah, I defer that to Joanne, Supervisor Wild.
I can do that. Thank you.
Yes. Absolutely.
You want to get to the podium so everybody can hear you?
The big jump could also have to do with the fact that since I've jumped onto the department, we've done a lot more posting on social media, Instagram, Facebook, and linking back to our website. That can have a lot to do with it as well.
Good. Thank you.
Okay, and then the analytics of visitor origin is pretty consistent year over year. New York State, that's primarily the New York City DMA, Long Island, Hudson Valley, that type of thing, then New Jersey and Connecticut. And it's followed by the Capital District Corridor, I-87, Western New York. Beyond that, Joanne can give you a further breakdown.
Just to answer Supervisor Wild's question, all ads and social media direct back to our website. So engagement, like cases that have just come on, push that's being put out there through social media for engagement with the various different platforms is also then showing how that increase is pushing forward.
Okay, so Mr. Chairman, if you don't mind, just
Go
for
ahead.
clarity, that big jump in the analytics isn't necessarily stating that we have a lot more people looking. It's just that they're coming from another source. Can we really compare 2020 to 2021? Well, how about 19, right? Because they were much lower numbers. And I'm not sure what the percentage jump is, but I'm just curious.
Kristen,
Is this something that's truly different that we've done that's made these numbers inflate like this? And I'm hearing it is. It's coming from other social media platforms.
But I suggest that would be a question specific to Joanne and
Okay.
the strategy behind what's gone on in 2021. For the purpose, you can elaborate.
Thanks. But just when I see a big jump, I'd like to understand a little bit
Yeah.
more about what it is.
Well, I apologize because Joanne was more up on all of this stuff we were going to say, and we spread it out yesterday to the rest of the team. So,
Okay, thank you.
but we'll get you the answers you're looking for. That's with no problem at all.
We got those answered.
All right, you want to continue, Paul, or are you done?
Sure. So going on with our website analytics, our website is a mobile first design. So that's why you're seeing such a huge percentage of users going through mobile. And the new site will also be mobile first design. That's supposed to launch in the spring. Okay, and this just breaks down the top pages visited, and you can see that's the home page. Top attractions are huge. Ice Castles for number 3 is a big statement because it's only been running for how many months now. Things to do, factory outlets, events, Revolution Rail is always huge, and Balloon Festival. Okay, and this is just an example. I'm sorry you can't see that very well, but you kind of just get the broad perspective. This is our mobile tracking data from Rove and Dome, and this is an example of a dashboard, and this is Warren County for an entire year. This is measured by cell phones that come into the district, and Supervisor Wild was big on this over the last few years of getting this mobile tracking data. And so Rove is a great tool to kind of aggregate all of that. So every mobile device that comes into our area for a particular duration of time is going to be captured here. That's to say, not every mobile device, but the apps within that mobile device. So, and they have tens of thousands of apps that generate this data. So that's mobile tracking data. And we can break this down and dig down deeper as far as, you know, who's here during the daytime, who's here at nights, you know, and compare those analytics. And this is just an example. We have points of interest that we've delineated. There's about 7 or 8 of them of our region. So we've got, this is an example of Great Escape, and it just kind of lists for you where these folks are coming from and in a particular time frame. So we can kind of go over a particular month and you can see who all visited Great Escape, where are they from, and same with Glens Falls. Like I said, we have about 9, so we track all over the county, and I can list them for you. Cool Insuring, Factory Outlets, Festival Commons, Ore Mountain, and North Creek are 2 separate POIs. Natural Stonebridge and Caves up north, Six Flags, Great Escape, The Hyde, and West Mountain. Those are all of our POIs, so we can kind of track that data and see who's coming from where and how long they're staying. It's a great tool for us. So we'll have a lot of that for you in the future. So our email marketing campaign, we do an e-blast every month, and it's delivered to our opt-in list of, I think the last count was between 40 and 50,000 recipients. And those numbers there for the last year, total of 455,000 emails went out, 115,000 were opened and near click-throughs, and this is all well above industry standards. That's the email marketing campaign. We also do a newsletter marketing to all of our comprehensive business partners and tourism-related businesses, county officials, state reps, and all that. And over the last year, 15,000 emails were delivered. And you can see the open rate and the click-through rate again, well above industry standards. Okay, so this is where Casey might come in handy, but this is some Facebook, where am I here? Newsletter marketing. Oh, okay, I'm sorry. I jumped ahead. So if you can skip to the next one, I'd already covered newsletter marketing. There we go. So our Facebook, our current follower numbers, top organic post is shown for you, number of likes, comments, and the demographics. Boomers and millennials, that should read there. And Joanne can give you a comparison to for other destinations doing the same thing. Visit Adirondacks, I think she had it at 114,000, Lake Placid 82,000, I Love New York 1.4 million, etc. And then the next one. This is just another example. This is our top boosted post. The fall is here, and you can see those numbers. This is the number of people who saw our content. Over 1 million on this one post is pretty impressive, I think, by any standards. And any questions on Facebook or anything?
So for something like that, do you know what the average spend would have been to get that paid reach? I mean, is that $100? Is it $5,000? Is it?
Yeah, Casey, can you?
I believe that one.
All right, and then the current number of followers on that Instagram, you can see we've exceeded our goal there. Casey exceeded our goal, I should say. And the team. Very good. And this is the top Instagram post, the ice cream blog. So, and that covers shops throughout Warren County, so that was a popular one as well. And Twitter, is Twitter relatively new, Casey, or we've been doing it for a little while, huh?
You know, if you're gonna speak, you're gonna have to get up to the podium so
Okay.
the people can hear you. I'm sorry.
Yeah, this is great.
Twitter isn't new for us, but I've increased the amount of tweets that we've done monthly, which has been really great for us. The amount of people we've reached.
And we'll move on to Pinterest here too, because this is something Casey has kind of massaged nicely into place here. The reach is a number of people who saw the content on social media, and the impressions, the number of times your post has been seen, regardless of if the link was clicked or not, right, Casey? And then your engagements are when people perform actions on your content. Any questions on that? And then TikTok. Casey, I'll let you do that because that's particularly nice.
So I
going.
just created a TikTok account for us in the fall. I want to say September, so it's relatively new to us. We have a few videos. You'll see this is your sign to see in the Lake George area is our most popular one with the most views. And do we have the TikTok videos? They're not playing.
Yeah, they can't play.
Okay. Well, I just did an Ice Castles one today. I showed the progression from October to just last night. So hopefully that one does really well. That's the most recent one. Do you have any questions about TikTok?
And then there's our social media activity right there, how we fare as compared with several of our colleagues in the field very well. And of course, the need for that community engagement skyrocketed. So in addition to Casey, Tanya and Maggie answering comments, that engagement is really important. And you can stop in and talk with Casey about all things social media. And did you have something, Kristen, on those numbers? Okay, good. And then entertain any questions.
I know that was a little confusing, to put it out like that, the way it is. Sometimes you can't even, I can't even read it on this screen. But, we're moving along, a lot of progress, but don't be afraid to come to the tourism department and we can give you more information and answer some of the questions that maybe we couldn't do today. The only thing I know that in the last week or 2 weeks, they've gotten over 100 calls a day just for Ice Castle. So they're all switching around who's answering the phone every time it rings just to keep everybody busy with it. But Ice Castle, we're going to find, my report here as of yesterday was 57,000 tickets sold. So that was as of yesterday. So, anybody have any questions? Anything further we have? Anything else? All right. All right, then let's have a motion to adjourn. Wait. Yes.
Are you gonna adjourn the whole meeting? So typically, based on the contract for the Lake George Regional Convention and Visitors Bureau, we submitted our Q4 report, which will be in your packet for next month. But because there's a lot of material, I wanted to bring it here today to distribute to the committee, because Supervisor Wild had many questions. Supervisor Hogan had some information that you had requested that we actually delve into in our report. So we did things a little bit differently for this Q4 to add, what were those leads and bookings? When were the dates of that business? What is the economic impact of that business? What is the ROI on any of the marketing that's done each month? So I did want permission to distribute it, and I know it'll come out in your packet, but this way, if there's some things that you want us to tweak moving forward when we present our monthlies, we're happy to do that. We've tried to take everybody's request for information and put that in here. So, because it's like 12 pages, and this was just for the fourth quarter. So I just wanted to present that as requested.
Thank you.
And then the report next month.
Yeah,
Okay.
we'll have more questions for them. Go ahead. Yep.
All right, good afternoon. Joanne sends her apologies. She can't be here today. Unfortunately, she is feeling under the weather, but hopefully feeling better by every day here. But I'm going to talk to you a little bit about on the OCTAX side, our investments, ice castles. It's been an exciting few weeks around here, and there's been so much buzz and so much excitement. It's all electric. It's cool. It's really fun to see all the people around and the lights downtown at nighttime. So over the last few months, we've talked a lot about our OCTAX funding, investing in new opportunities that can create future sustainable tourism growth. And judging by our most recent investment, which we're looking right down the street at Ice Castles, and the incredible media response and visibility that it has generated for our region, it is clear to see that this new attraction, as the mayor has mentioned earlier, is a game changer for all of us for this winter. You add this coupled with the additional occupancy tax investments of our other winter events, like Winterfest, Winter Carnival, Festival of Lights, Chris Kinnamart, and the New York State Education Ski Foundation. You know, we're looking at one of the largest investments of winter promotion to date. We've invested $215,000 in OCTAX support just to activate winter promotions and winter activities. So the marketing and the PR value of these partnerships really goes above and beyond our current marketing and PR spends that we're doing here internally. And that's what we were talking a little bit about over the last few months in terms of value in kind. What do we get for our investments in these events? And, you know, just looking at what we've been able to do with our $50,000 investment in Ice Castles, we've been able to generate media, earned media from all across the state, Albany to Buffalo, Utica, Syracuse, Rochester, Westchester, New York City, Lower Hudson Valley, Springfield, and then nationally. Ice Castles in the Lake George area has also just been featured in Amtrak magazine, which is distributed digitally across the entire corridor. And so just to give you an additional snapshot of some of the Ice Castles and winter campaign activity over the last weekend, Warren County's tourism Instagram gained 400 followers over the weekend. We've increased our Facebook reach over the last 28 days, according to what Casey was telling me earlier, to over 2.6 million. And that page right now has higher engagement than I Love New York and Hershey Park. So that's big. Those are big numbers for, you know, looking to partner and support different activities and different events. Lake George area and Ice Castles also received national media attention through Yahoo News yesterday, reaching 65 million viewers worldwide. And on Sunday morning, Ice Castles in Lake George area was featured twice. I think the mayor mentioned this earlier on the Weather Channel, and he also mentioned the report from the New York Times that came up recently. Opening day, per the folks at Ice Castles, they had 6 live media interviews an hour before they opened, and they hosted a newspaper and TV crew from Vermont. So really, this is a catalyst. This is exciting to see, to generate all of this buzz and all of this great attention for our region. Additionally, you know, we've also been contacted by numerous bloggers and influencers. Casey's been getting some stuff on social media. We've hosted a few recently, just in the last week or so, actually last week. We had Pilot Girl Productions, who was a local videographer come, and she's actually writing a piece on winter activities and Ice Castles in our area for the acclaimed travel website gonomad.com, which reaches about 29 million viewers. She's producing a video for us, actually, which she produced for us already for free, which I'll show at the end. And we've already been able to use that a little bit in terms of engagement, and the case will be using that actually for over the course of the next week or so in her promotions. So, you know, as we talk about investing and looking at all these different events that we put money into, or is it worth it? I want you to think about just how we leverage that visibility, that media visibility, because what that's doing is that's having us not have to necessarily spend the money on advertising, but rather we're working in partnership, leveraging their marketing, our marketing, social media, and everything combined to create the value in kind and extend our reach. And so that's really a huge benefit for our destination. and is really looking to invite and engage visitors to enjoy their wintercation here in the Lake George area. Additionally, we've had some great news. We've received several requests on bus tours and group tours. So we actually have a group coming up from Yankee Trails, 51 passenger bus that'll be coming in February to enjoy ice castles and winter carnival. And Tanya's been working with the other operators to try and get them, if they are able to get the tickets for this year, if not, looking to solicit for next year for 2023. So again, some very exciting news, not just on the media side, but also on the group tour to be able maybe perhaps to backfill in those middle, Monday through Thursdays when all of our weekends are full. As Supervisor Molino said, Ice Castles have conducted record numbers of sales exceeding 57,000 tickets sold since January 19th. They're sold out most weekends. Most of the weekdays are starting to sell out as well. And even the private alcove, which can be reserved for $450 for an hour, is selling out. So this is a big, big deal. Quick survey of visitors. Just from last weekend, a couple of families came up from New Jersey when it was celebrating a birthday for their daughter, and they thought they'd stay for the weekend. Another family came from downstate, had some family from India, so they brought them. And so we had folks from India actually here this past weekend on opening day. Another family originally from Poland who now lives in Connecticut also recently came up over the weekend for this, and they decided that they loved it so much they're definitely coming back in the summer. And these are the kinds of stories that we love to hear. So Winter Carnival is seeing strong bookings as well, as we're looking to talk about all these different investments and events that we're doing. And speaking with them yesterday in conjunction with Ice Castles and Winterfest. Winterfest states they are 70% sold of their activities, and their local hotels, according to them, are also seeing significant uptick in all of this activity. So overall, it looks to be at this point, our investments are working. We're working to collaborate with these event managers and to really bring that new business. So, it's exciting to see, and hopefully we'll continue that going forward into the rest of the season.
Thank you.
Any
Any questions?
Thank you.
All right.
Mr.
Yeah,
Chairman,
Mr. Wild.
thank you very much. Kristen, are there any challenges that the Ice Castle organization is dealing with that we should know about and maybe we could help with?
To my knowledge, no. I know that they needed some cones last week, which we helped them with. And Kevin Hages was very generous and helpful in donating some cones down there, which they said they would replace if they broke them. But to my knowledge, no. Gina, I know you've had some dealings with them as well and a good close relationship. So anything that you've heard back?
Kevin Hajos, his team provided all the ice removal. That was a very big deal. I sent them a note as soon as I got a really positive call on that. Their staff, most of them that are from out of town, are staying at Lincoln Log Colony nearby. They're being welcomed by every bar and restaurant. If they have their ice castles on, people are buying them meals, drinks. They're very welcome into our community.
Thank you.
I will add to that too. In speaking with Brad, who is their on-site manager and just, Ice Castles extraordinaire. He's been a great spokesman for them as well. Was saying actually they're very excited. They've got lots of ideas even for next year. So that was exciting to hear, and they're looking ahead into the future, which is great.
That is great.
Yeah, it's been a phenomenal couple of weeks. I don't know if I should mention it. Maybe they'll get mad at me, but we had a call. I think the ladies got a laugh out of it. A lady wanted to know how long the ice castle was going to last, and they explained it maybe into first, second week of March, depending on the weather. And the lady asked her if it would be open in June. So take that. It was the laugh of the day a couple of days ago. So just to bring it up, but people are so interested, and myself, my little business even. I mean, I'm getting a lot of calls, but I can't get tickets for people because they're trying to get tickets and they're not reserved. So it's a good problem to have. But I think a couple of hotels, Dun and Bay, I think called us and told us they booked the whole month of February. That's unreal for them. So this is by the time June comes, we're going to have a lot of knowledge of what went on in the next 6 weeks. So any other questions? Please come down to the new people that want any questions answered, how we do it, what maneuver we do. The staff is willing to help anybody. So, all right. So with that, Don, anything on YouTube? I think we asked you for that before.
Hi, Chairman Merlino, nothing on YouTube.
Okay, the what?
There was
Oh,
the
one,
video. Do you want to see the video?
wanted to do that. It's a short video.
So this was the video that was shot by Pilot Productions last week for us. For free, by the way.
This is a typical ice castle that we would harvest. So we'll harvest somewhere around 500,000 of these throughout the season. And this is how we grow the castle. We mortar these into place up on the wall, spray overnight or during the day sometimes. That water will freeze, forming a larger icicle, giving us a bigger base to build the walls. You can see how they start to look after a few days. And that is primarily all of the material that we use to build the castle. It's 100% ice. I visited an ice castle last year, which is what got me hooked personally, and I've never seen the awe and the wonder in people's eyes from any other experience that I've ever produced in my entire life.
We're wondering where all the water's gonna go when it melts. All right, with that, and the only thing tomorrow at 2:00, any supervisor or any people that really interested, it's gonna be open house for us to come. There's gonna be media there, dignitaries there, and a ribbon cutting ceremony. So with that, I call for a motion adjourned. Mr. Leggett, Mr. Wild, all in favor? All right,
Aye.
we're adjourned. Thank you all for the patience.